As Nigeria joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Press Freedom Day 2025, the United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed Fall, is calling for greater support for journalists navigating the challenges of artificial intelligence in an evolving media landscape. He described journalists as a very important contributor to the success of a democratic society, helping citizens exercise their rights to freedom of expression and freedom of information. This year's global theme for the World Press Freedom Day, which is reporting in the brave new world, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media, focuses on the complex intersection between technology and journalism. The United Nations General Assembly declared the 3rd of May as the World Press Freedom Day, observed to raise awareness of the importance of freedom of the press and to remind governments of their duty to respect and uphold the rights to freedom of expression enshrined under Article 19 of the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Well, joining us for now to look at the World Press Freedom Day is a broadcaster and communication strategist, Charles Ideho. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. Now, when we talk about World Press Freedom Day, what does this mean to you, especially at this time when we are looking at the advent of AI and in helping in enhancing our work? So what do you think of all of this?
Okay, thank you one more time. I think though it's still a new thing right here in Nigeria, we're just trying to grapple with the challenges that, of course, come with AI, the lack of in-depth knowledge of how it is used, how it is also deployed. No matter how we look at it, we need to still take a lot of time to study, to understudy how we can deploy AI to use it effectively. Ours is an evolving world. Ours is an evolving profession right here. Even though the project has lasted for so long, but AI is coming to disrupt what the conventional journalism we've always had here in this country. So what I'm advocating for is to ensure that AI, no matter how important it is in the discharge of our duty, does not replace the natural, that's the human element in the discharge of our journalistic endeavors, if you will. But if it's in a way that it can complement our effort, yes. But how does it complement our effort if we don't know how to use it? Then the other question is that all these AI tools and all that, how involved are the professionals? The journalism professionals, how involved are they in putting those things together, putting the tools together for our use? Because people who are developing them, they are just handing them over to us without even, how much is the input of journalists in all these tools for us to know? Okay, number one, it follows the facts that we are taught to dispense with. It follows all the 5 degrees and H and all that. And then we also, in most cases too, we have gone on events together where we have to go there to interview. Will the AI also do this physical interface of the people we're going to be interviewing? And how do we get all those things to come together to ensure that, as I said earlier, it only complements, but it does not replace the human element in the field of journalism?
So the theme of this year's World Press Freedom Day is reporting in the brave new world. While we also talk about artificial intelligence, what about the issues that bedevil our work as journalists such that we put ourselves in harm's way when reporting a story or doing an investigative piece? How do we as journalists protect ourselves while working?
Well, as for the other one, you talk about protecting ourselves from harm's way. That's exactly where AI can actually play a very, very vital role, so that we don't have a human interface. For instance, you have wars where these war-torn countries, do you still continue to go over there and have to face the guns, face the bullets? You have to be dodging bullets and wearing helmets and all that. But if there are ways that AI can help us to get that job done without having a physical human interface, that would be welcome. But it's only the dissemination of the information that I'm worried about. We talk about facts in journalism. The question is that how do we ensure that fact is not tampered with? How do we ensure that people, because over time, I'm sure you look at it that even now we're even grappling with what is fake, what is not fake in the media. There's been so many things being done. You see Clinton being remodeled. You see all of them. They said this is a speech that was done. Now there's this issue of Natasha. We are saying people are saying that the telephone recording is an AI generated. So how do we ensure that all these incidences of fake things there are eliminated as we deploy the AI tools to complement our jobs as journalists, as I said earlier?
So I will bring to your notice, I'm sure you are aware that TVC News has launched its first AI anchors in different languages, major Nigerian languages. Now, how do you think these kinds of tools can also enhance our work, looking at what TVC News has done?
Yeah, congratulations. I watched it and I was amused. I said, well, this is what humans can do. I heard the one that was read in outside, the one that was read in the bowl. But there's no Edo there, too. You and I should fight. There should be Edo there.
Don't worry, we're coming to every language. But right now, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, the main languages, that's what we're focused on.
Well, if they have not done Edo, they have not done it well. I mean, Edo, they have to put Edo there, or else I will fight it. Okay, so having said that, I think I said I watched it, and but my fear again, no matter how creative that initiative is, still over time, will this not take the jobs of humans? Will it not, result in job losses? Because what I can do, for example, we come on journalist hangout and we do every day, every weekday and all that, and then we no longer have to, to invite us to come and face the camera. The AI is talking like Ideho. The AI is talking like Chuflose Lama, where if we do not lead to job losses, and when it happens, what happens to our social welfare? What happens to our home welfare? So these are the areas we want to look at.
Charles, while that fear is there, can AI replace human elements in news gathering, the elements of truth, of being trustworthy, and of course of being factual in news production?
Good. That is why I'm saying that it may not, even whether in the short run, whether in the long run, it may not replace the human element. But what I'm saying first is that when we deploy these tools, the question is, what level of knowledge do we have in the discharge of duties for using AI to intervene in whatever we just I'm saying? So if we have adequate training, maybe retraining of personnel to say, okay, these are the new, the evolving world, these are the things you need to look out for, watch out for. I think over time we may be able to, get a better hold of it, so that some of these fears, some of these concerns can also be addressed. But the way it is now, we're still in the incubation level. I'm sure we're going to be developing over time to get to a level where some of these fears, some of these concerns will be addressed. But for now, Theo, my fears are still there.
So what do you think can be done to address those fears?
Well, it's training. For instance, what you have just done now by bringing AI presenter, newscasters, I'm sure it's an initiative that management must have sat down to look at, and then they called experts to look at it. But in doing it, another question is that, has there been any interaction, in-depth interaction between those who deployed that, those who help you generate it? What is the level of your involvement as TVC staff over there? What's the level of involvement to ensure that this thing that you are carried along, your whatever you're going to be telling them about your training, because those people who did it, they are professionals in the tech world. But if you're in the tech world, do you know exactly what journalism? The total, I'm just talking about what journalism is all about. If they are able to come up with that, where we have to rub mind, we have to be together, the interface, as I said, then they can teach us what they are doing. They can also have our input as they deploy these tools. But without our input as practitioners, there to be a problem, because they will just hand over to us what we know not about.
All right, Charles Ideho, thank you so much for talking to us, broadcaster and communication strategist. Thank you so much for talking to us.